Hey, I'm Decathlon Gamer. Welcome back to Pro Cycling Manager 2020. It's Women's Tour. It's episode 13. We're on to our next sponsor objective, and this is one of those achievable ones that I'm excited to have a go at. It's just 58 kilometers in length. It is considered to be punchy, as there is plenty of undulation along the way, but as how short it is, it should come down to a bunch sprint.
Will it prove to be too early?
So we've brought mostly sprinters here, but we've also brought some more climby support riders to help them get to that finish. And then only needing a top 10 makes it relatively achievable. Though one downside is generally we tend to only have about 60 or 70 riders. There's 107 here today, so that's not going to help us a whole lot. Let's start making sense of what we have up here. Clavenger's closest thing to a sprinter I have right now. Momolento, go ahead and support Moke. Yeah, 66. We want to support Marie too. 67, 61. Here comes Donadin, who is punchy and can sprint. I like that combination. And on a +5. Might be riding for Donadin. Here comes Klaus, last one coming up. You can see just how much we're struggling at a 75 because of how short it is. We're already down to the final 47 kilometers. So it does make sense that we are pushing even now. I think Klaus with her 63s is probably going to end up as a early support rider. Let's see, Momolento, yeah, definitely not a sprinter. Clavenger's -2, definitely hurting her chances. Now we'll use Klaus to support Donadin. And then Clavenger and Marie. Normally it should be the other way around, but it looks like today anyway. That's the acceleration piece though that you don't want to take away, right? Marie might have top speed, but she's not going to get to that top speed very quickly at all. She does have a flat rating, which is going to be good for lead out. Well, Clavenger, just kind of the final product. What do we have for acceleration in this bunch? Let's start from the top. Who's got the best acceleration? Oh, Donadin. Okay, Donadin is definitely going to handle the sprint today. Clavenger really should be that last lead out, realistically. But it's got to be Marie or Moke. Clavenger's just not on it. You can already see the fatigue we are facing. 50 riders, temporarily anyway, are dropped. It's a very close gap. I would imagine they'll yo-yo back in. They do. 103 chasing 4. More than halfway done. Now we're chasing 3. Doesn't surprise me at all that the breakaway is not being given any sort of leash today. 23K. See just how much Klaus and Clavenger are hurting. It's a good thing that I'm actually using the protect, because you could see the riders offering that protection. This is a dangerous race, and a lot of riders are not going to arrive at the finish with any sort of energy left. And that's good for our chances on that top 10. We're down to 85 riders. There's no breakaway.
15 kilometers to the finish line.
Klaus is done. Klaus is done. You can see there's a good 10 riders here at the back that are struggling. 12K. Once we get up this hill, this is going to be it. Clavenger. Okay, Klaus has been dropped. Clavenger. Malenti's... Oh, come on, Donovan. Why are you going backwards? What happened? What happened? It's 8K. We might have to go with Marie and Moke if Donovan is this far back. Here we go. All right. Reset. 3 riders. 7K. And we want who to lead us out? Flat rating goes to Marie. So Marie, we want to use that flat rating. We want to use Moke on the sprint. Gel up for you. Try 91 initially. You're the furthest back of the 3. Here we go. Last 6.5K. And we're setting ourselves up. We're seeing an attack. Late attack. No! Oh, I'm rolling up. I hate when this game does that. Drives me nuts. Coming down to the end. Mamalento. Take care of you. Alright. 44 riders chasing 2. 3K. So full speed. 2K. Marie.
And they keep on
taking off.
Anyone that's low on gas definitely won't be able to keep up.
1.6. Moke.
There we go. The sprint is on. The riders are setting themselves up.
We are in the prime position, and we've opened a gap. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Could we win this? 1.2. Okay. Moke. You seriously just went 200 meters and went through half your red bar in 200 meters. And Donovan went through half your red bar in 200 meters and have just a quarter left. Downhill finish. That's why. I did not think that that bridge was uphill. It looked flat. It was not. But we opened a gap. Go now and hope we hold on. Here we go. Moke out front to the line. To the line. 4, a 1, 2, and will Marie hang on for 3? Yes! 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 Our team's first victory on a sponsor objective. Top 10 was the requirement, and we get the victory, and we sweep the podium.
The race is run, but the poor souls bringing up the
That
rear
little
continue
uphill
pressing.
apparently
It's
was
a
the
bit of a
time
knock
to
on
go.
morale.
It hurt us so much, but it opened a gap. It opened a gap that nobody else could recover from. Yeah, all right. That was a tough race, and we came out on top. Donovan, that was excellent. That was really excellent. So as I go to finish filling out the calendar for the next couple of months, last season I used the automatic planner. It is so horribly inefficient in their training and who it assigns to races. It shows a lot of bias. It doesn't give you much balance to your schedule. So there's a lot of problems with that method. But it's great for ease of use. And I'm really glad they added that in this year. Despite that, though, there's still a lot left to be desired from it. But you could also see that, unlike last season, our calendar is very full this season. Very full. There is a ton going on. And we're down to our last 3 races to fill in here. Now, what I generally do is I will focus on sponsor objectives, and I will focus on the rider who has the best reputation. We have no riders with any reputation. None of them are known. I'm assuming that before the end of the season, Vanderpeet will be known, especially when she just leveled up again. She's now a 70 overall. So that's one thing. She's ending up in most of those races anyway because we need her quality as a team leader, as the expected performer. But as a team, that's the first part. So I fill in the objectives, and then I fill in, sometimes I'll focus on home races to make riders happy. They generally like that. Haven't focused on that yet this season, but what I'm generally doing now is I'm down to these races that are going to be quick simmed. I don't expect to get any sort of results out of them. And so what I'm looking for primarily is to balance my riders. So most of the time I'm looking for who has the fewest days raced and getting them in on the action until it's full, until it's complete. I went down to just 2, but they happen to be on the same day. One is a sprint, one is punchy, so we'll try to assign sprinters to one. And let's see, who else do we have? Claviger, too many days, so we will not assign her, but we will put Marie on it. And then we'll just fill in a couple support riders. Okay, and then the last one is punchy. Since we're having to dig a little bit deeper, Vanderpeet, empty through all of that. It's just, other than the Tour de Ardennes, it's just a couple sponsor objectives through here, really. But let's give her one more day of racing, as she's actually starting to lag behind the others, which is good. We're managing her schedule well at this point. Okay, Shashir, we'll bring her in. O'Neill, let's see, how many more do I need? 2 more. And there you go. Okay, so that's the first phase. Get all of that filled out over a period of time, and it is. It's all maxed out. And then, one by one, I go ahead and drop open everybody's menu for their training. So I open them up over that period, and I always do this a couple weeks ahead of time before I get to the end of what I've already scheduled, because I'm not going beyond here. There's nothing, right? I mean, you could see that our rider schedules, we're only seeing a few of them right now, but they're blank. So I'm just managing what's on the screen right now. And one of the reasons why I try to do this a couple weeks ahead of time is it locks your active week. Your active week's already in, so Vanderpeet's resting this week. I don't want to rest back-to-back weeks. That does not work out terribly well for your riders. So we'll get a rest period in here, and I always try to get at least 2 rest periods in within a window, and evenly spread out from where they last were. And I always try to get those in as often as possible so that we can maintain high fitness levels, but also not run that risk of getting too tired. I mean, you can see we're climbing all the way up to 48 right there. Just above 50 is where it climbs in. So actually, if we can, we're going to get a full week's rest a little bit earlier. And there you go. That cuts it down to 20, 25. That's quite a bit better. It hurts our fitness level just a little bit. Comes down to 96. But I think it's worth it to get a full week's rest for Vanderpeet, especially because there will be times where we cannot manage her schedule terribly well at all. That's a really bad week for rest because it's only 2 days off. You're racing 5 days. Here, at least you're racing 3 days and you get 4 days off. So you get a much better recovery during that stretch. I don't usually check the fatigue factor, but it's good. You can see by taking 5 days off, she's only recovering 11 points on the fatigue factor for Donadin. So it's better if you can to take this week off. It just hurts that fitness level a little bit, but there you go. We're down to 18 at the end of it by getting a whole week off. Okay, again, almost everybody's going to have this week scheduled off. Not everybody. Some of them are going to have I think it was the week before, but almost everybody took one of these 2 weeks off on my last breakdown of the calendar. Okay, that's a good week to have off, which means I think this might be, is that too soon? No, it's not. That's good. That's good. We'll take that one off. These are at 27 points at the end. she's racing all 7 days. That's a rough stretch for Clevenger. Week off there works. We're going to need a full week off right there. But yeah, the main thing is keep this as consistently high as you can. Don't do back-to-back weeks off. I almost always, and I do deviate from this sometimes for a fatigue factor. We're coming off. There's no good stretch in here to have a break, though, until there. We'll get another one in right here. But the absolute thing for me is never have this red bar show up. If it starts climbing, make it go away. That's first and foremost. And then maintain this as much as possible. See just how ugly this would have been for Maxwell if we just allowed the AI to do it. Maxwell has an injury right now. She had a quick sim race, I think just last week, that she fractured a rib. So Maxwell's going to be out for a little bit of time. Let's go ahead and give her rest early and then get her recovering. And this is a really good week for a break. 6 days off. Okay, that's the week for a break. Get the largest stretch you can off when you can. And don't just take a break right before they're topping that 50%. Having no fatigue is nice. And you can see at this point she's down to 21, but if we keep taking weeks off, the fitness rate drops. And we don't want that. Okay, we're running into some fatigue. How much does that hurt the fitness? 95. That's 96. That's not bad. All right, so I'm at Chambery. It's just over 90 kilometers. Very skinny road to start out, so it's hard to move up through the field. Klaus already at the front. We're going to see a small breakaway start to emerge here soon as my riders make their way through the peloton.
Attack! It's a good moment to
It's ultimately a sprint stage, but there's plenty of undulation that we are going to have to overcome on this short circuit. And with only a little over 90K, you could expect that it's going to be a pretty high tempo throughout. So we might not have all 6 riders at the end, but what we do have is 4 of them on fitness peaks.
It's an attack!
And the result is right about where we should be, roughly, with the race day conditions. It's all green, just 1 on a 0. So I think we're only a point or 2 above where we should be. But we're looking pretty good, especially the balance piece, where we should be able to support ourselves and get this team as a whole towards the end. Of course, as always, we're already inside the final 80K, so we're going to want to up the effort a little bit and then pick out who we think will be suitable to make it to the end. Little uphill undulations, not too many steep sections. In fact, this little section we're in right now is the steepest. This is part of that finishing course. So we'll see what that uphill looks like and how far from the end is that. It's pretty far from the end. So I do think we're set for sprint finish, not needing to necessarily worry about who has climbing or punch ability as long as they're well protected. So Klaus is a 66-65 on the sprint. We might want to pay a little attention to the resistance, but otherwise I think we're pretty good. Here's that uphill section. Yeah, 10%, but it's short. It's short. It's okay, and it's going to come early enough. Brookshire's definitely here to protect other riders. Moke 66, but only a 61 on the acceleration. So let's go ahead and protect Klaus. That's one thing that stands out. Marie 68, but only a 61 acceleration. She could definitely work as a good lead-out rider. Her takeoff won't be so fast, so our sprinter will have time to adjust, and then she'll have good top speed once they work up to it. So she won't drain their energy too fast, but she'll potentially be out front. So she could be a good lead out rider. O'Neill is definitely not a sprinter. That's just our filler here. And there it is, a 68-67. Clevenger is going to be that leader today. So Moak, the other lead out rider, fourth in that train early on. So there you go. We're all set. And we're into the final 60K now. O'Neill is the support rider for the day. So let's go ahead and use O'Neill to go get water. Only time we have to deal with that. The field's splitting. It's such a skinny road. Position's going to really matter here. We're going to come up on that big climb again. Going to get this gentle uphill, big drop, and here we go. Let's prepare for this a little bit. It is the final 30K, so I do expect there's going to be some pushing, shoving, fighting for position. O'Neill very much going backwards. O'Neill, what happened to protecting Marie?
Oh my, the guys up front aren't going to be making too many friends today.
O'Neill gets dropped. That's okay with me if that means there's that many riders left. We have a breakaway of 10, 45 seconds ahead. It's coming back together though. O'Neill's not in the group that just made contact. Chase on the breakaway should be done relatively soon. O'Neill's group is close, but again, getting that one back for the sake of bringing 35 back up, I'd rather not see them make contact. Right, no more blinking red available. 87. Pick up that tempo. Get back to the front. Breakaway is done. Now it's 60. Marie riding solo, and Marie is... No, it's Clevenger who's going to be the sprinter. Is Klaus or Marie doing better, though? Well, Klaus is more balanced. About the resistance part, very similar. Who's better on the flat? Marie's better on the flat, so I actually want to use Klaus in that final moment. Again, O'Neill still has not made contact. That's good. 18K. Big acceleration here at the front. Punchers going for the late move that could win the stage. Moak got dropped. Why did you get dropped? You were on protection duty. And it's back together. Moak, protect Clevenger like you were supposed to, please. O'Neill, protect Marie. No, dropped again. 15K to go. Got 4 riders right at the front where they need to be. As we're seeing some yo-yoing, as we're seeing late attacks. Moak, let's start scooting forward. O'Neill. No. Go ahead and sit up. Go ahead and sit up. I'll take 38 at the front. I like my chances of getting that top 10.
Only 10 kilometers left.
10K to go with 4 riders. Let's do this thing. So Clevenger is going to be led out by Klaus, not Marie, because Klaus balanced, yes, but no flat rating. So Marie is going to be better with the flat rating part because we don't need to use her sprint. So that lead up, she'll be able to actually get out front and work. Brookshire, you're going to pick up the task of getting us out front.
The sprinters are positioning themselves up front.
There we go. Now we're into that prime position with 8K to go. And we have the last lengthy uphill section right now. I don't want to do too much damage. Brookshire will not do that. Brookshire is only a 61 hill rating, so she's going to hurt herself, but she's not going to do too much damage behind her to us, but maybe to other teams. 7K to go, and she is done. Much sooner than I expected, actually, so we don't want to go too hard with Marie. But we could possibly open a gap. We have dropped some riders.
The finish line is getting
Brookshire.
close. The riders just passed the 5 kilometers road sign.
5K, that's gel time for everybody else. Okay, here's that last uphill. Marie gel kicks in right in time. 3K to go. 2.9. Almost over it. And then we accelerate big time. There we go. Out of the corner. 99. 2K. Now your sprint. Now your sprint. 1.3 and 900 meters. I think we're looking very good for that top 10 right now. Clevenger, full red bar as we approach the finish. Slow takeoff. Come on, Clevenger. It's a top 10. It's a top 10. But Clevenger, zero acceleration. She's got a 67, 68 sprint. I mean, that's not good. It's not good. But she never even really eclipsed Klaus. She got side by side with her and nothing more. Should have definitely done more than that. 8th and 9th, though. Yeah, that was surprisingly, shockingly poor from Clevenger on that sprint. We're not good, so I get it that she wasn't going to contend for the win at that position at that point, but barely even coming up beside your lead-out rider, where you had full red bar and 900 meters to go. I mean, you had plenty of time to get up to speed, but plenty of time to not drain the whole red bar. 900 meters is, I mean, if you're in a good position, which we were in a good, not ideal, but good position, and she had room to go forward. That was surprising. Because Klaus set it up nicely. Marie really set it up nicely. Marie did some good hard work in there. Brookshire faded much too early, took 23rd. But that big uphill section before that, Brookshire not being good at the uphill, I could see why she was drained so fast. Our ratings are what they are. Can't expect them to behave normally for the riders. It's a really weak team. It's not last season's team. It's much improved from that, but it's still very subpar. So I get it. I've got to lower my expectations. That is another successful sponsor objective, though, and we'll see what it is tomorrow. There we go. There's our. Wait, why is it lower than it was? Didn't we go down after succeeding in our 2.5-star objective? I thought we were in the blue slightly. Well, anyway, my goal is to be in the green for this season, and so far we're looking pretty dang good for that. Next up is Redlands. I think that's going to be a much harder one to get a top 10 on. That's going to hurt. The DNK race, that is, I don't know if that's gravel or all cobble, but we're not good enough on cobble, and our top classics rider, Maxwell, is out injured till April, and this is at the end of March, just a couple of weeks away, and it's our biggest objective of the year, and we only have 3 with even mediocre cobble ratings. That's gonna hurt a lot, so we're gonna see a big drop that day. We're not gonna get our top 10, I don't think. This is going to be a hard one. It's a time trial and it's uphill. We're not good enough at either to claim a top 10 there. So we're going to fail a couple in a row. Redlands, that might be 3 in a row. This is much more achievable. Not sure about that one. Depends on the climb. Stage win is not going to be achievable. So we're facing a difficult stretch. The last couple are easy. Well, no, Cascade Cycling Classic is not easy. I'm not sure if those climbs are going to be too easy for us either. So actually, there are some difficult objectives. I like that it's top 10s, right? Yeah, it's not going to hurt as bad. We're going to have a hard time with those. I'm not sure we're going to be able to stay in the green. I think we might be dropping down to the just the acceptable evaluation and not the successful. Either way, it's not a big deal. I mean, we're nowhere near the 83,000. It'd be nice to push it up to 95,000. I'm not sure if that's going to happen. So far, so good, though. But some really tough objectives coming. We got our first win, though. That was fantastic. That is a huge step in the right direction. Last season, we scored 80 points the whole year. We're at 61 now. So we're 3/4 of the way to our entire total from last season on the 12th of March. A lot of season still to go. We will score points. So very, very happy with the major progress. I mean, Chloe Eigert's team is only at 90 points right now. That's going to do it for this episode, though. I'm Decathlon Gamer. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, and I'll see you next time. Have a good one. Be safe out there, and bye for now.